Welcome to This Explainer. We're here to turn real-life stories into plans that you can actually use. And today, we're going to break down exactly how one learner, Maria, finally unlocked English fluency with a method that, honestly, anyone can follow. Okay, let's dive right in. So let's start with a feeling that I bet is super familiar to a lot of English learners out there. This comes from Maria, who was just stuck in this loop of confusion and frustration. You're watching something, you want to get it, but you just feel lost. It's a feeling a lot of us can relate to, for sure. If that sounds like you, then you are definitely in the right place, because Maria's story isn't just some tale, it's a roadmap. It's a really practical guide for anybody who's just starting out on their English learning journey. So we've broken down her whole journey into a super clear step-by-step plan that you can literally start using today. We're going to cover her secret, her 4 key steps, and then how you can apply all of it to your own learning.
So, what was the big turning point for her? Well, it all kicked off with a really frustrating trip to London. You know the feeling. She was surrounded by English, but she felt completely lost. She couldn't get even simple ideas across. And that trip, it changed everything.
When she got back home, she just knew that sitting there with a grammar book wasn't going to cut it. So she totally ditched the old kind of passive methods and created her own system, one built on practical daily habits that actually fit into her real life. And this right here is the core of her method. It's a 4-part strategy. It's all about immersion, confidence, pronunciation, and vocabulary. It's a whole approach that really tackles the biggest challenges that learners face. So let's unpack that first step. Okay, so Maria's first move was to just surround herself with English. Instead of thinking of it as a school subject, she decided, nope, I'm going to make this a part of my everyday world. Now, what I love about this is just how simple and accessible these techniques are. She just used stuff she already enjoyed, movies, music, social media, and she just slowly turned up the difficulty. This made the whole thing feel way less like a chore and more like just entertainment. The real key was turning her environment into her classroom. Of course, it wasn't all easy. She really struggled with the real-world parts of English, all those tricky phrasal verbs and slang that you just don't find in textbooks. She felt overwhelmed a lot of the time, but her secret weapon was just consistency. Doing a little bit every single day was the key to getting past that feeling. Okay, so if immersion is all the English coming in, what about the English going out? Let's talk about speaking. This is like the biggest hurdle for so many learners, and Maria's solution was genius. She decided to embrace her mistakes, not run away from them. I love this story. This hilarious moment taught her such a crucial lesson. Yeah, mistakes can be embarrassing, for sure, but they're also incredibly memorable. They're not failures, they are these powerful little learning moments. And let's be real, you are never going to forget a mistake like that one. So, how'd she actually build up that confidence? Well, she started small and safe. First, she just narrated her day to herself. It might sound a little silly, but it's a brilliant way to practice with zero pressure. Then, when she was ready, she leveled up. She joined online language exchanges to find patient partners who got that she was still learning. All right, so to improve her pronunciation and just sound more natural, Maria found this really powerful technique that a lot of polyglots and interpreters use. It's called shadowing. So what is it exactly? Well, think of yourself as a vocal echo. You're not just repeating words off a list. You're copying the music of the language, the rhythm, the pitch, the flow. It's training your mouth and your ears at the exact same time. It's pretty cool. And this just shows how simple it is to get started. Just pick a short clip from a movie you like, listen to it once, then play it again and try to speak right along with the actor. I'll be honest, it's going to feel awkward at first, but practicing every day really helps you start to internalize the natural sounds of English. Okay, finally, let's talk about vocabulary. How did she deal with that super frustrating problem of, learning a new word one day and then completely forgetting it the next? Her secret was all about active learning. She wasn't just reading word lists, no. She kept a journal to capture words in context. She used spaced repetition apps like Anki to review them in a smart way. And, this is the most important part, she actively tried to use her new words in actual conversations. This slide just shows the difference so perfectly. Passive learning, like trying to memorize a list, is pretty much a recipe for forgetting. But Maria's active approach, linking words to context, to people, to real conversations, that's what actually moves vocabulary from your short-term to your long-term memory. Okay, so let's bring this all together. Maria's journey isn't just about techniques, it's also about her mindset. She's got a few final, really powerful principles for anyone who's just starting out on this path. You gotta remember these 4 rules: be patient, embrace your mistakes, have fun with it, and above all, be consistent. A little bit of practice every day builds momentum and makes the whole journey enjoyable, not some big burden. This really is the foundation of her success.
So, we've laid out the Instrayer map for Maria's journey. Now it's your turn. And you don't have to do everything all at once. Just pick one thing, just one small thing from today's explainer, and give it a try. So the question is, what's your first step going to be? Thanks so much for joining us. Keep learning and keep practicing.